Alright, here's the explanation for the quiz today. This is really much easier than it looks. On part A, we need to use the range equation to find the initial velocity. So I write my range equation, and the thing I'm trying to solve for is v initial. So I know my range, it's 241 meters. I know what planet I'm on, so I know g, and I know theta because it says that my angle here is 34 degrees. So I rearrange this thing and solve for v naught. V naught is the square root of rg divided by the sine of 2 theta, and so at the end when I do my computation I get 50.5 meters per second when rounded to 3 sig figs. So that's part A. Part B, using the speed determined in part A, how high does this shot go? Start with computing the vertical velocity. Well, I know my vertical velocity is v naught times the sine of theta, which in our case is 34, so I compute that and I get 28.2 meters per second. At the top, we know, as always, that the final velocity in the y direction is 0, so now I can come over here and use my v final minus v initial, or v final squared minus v initial squared is 2a delta y, and solve for delta y. And when I do that, I get 40.7 meters. All right, part C, he wants to go better. So we multiply our old initial velocity by 4%, which would be a decimal number, 1.04, and I get 52.5 meters per second. That's his best effort at getting the speed off of the club face. Now I know that my new range is 275 meters. So now I can plug that into my equation, but I have to solve for theta. Well, I'm really solving for 2 theta. When I solve this problem for sine 2 theta, well, when I solve it for sine 2 theta, I get 0.977. So I do the inverse sine function and I find that 2 theta is 77.7 degrees, and just to get theta I have to divide both sides to get rid of this 2, and I get my new angle is 38.8 degrees.